Now, a lot of you out there probably have multiple locations. How does that look? So let's talk about what that would look like. We're going to add a second site, just a second local area network, call it Site 2. Let's put 2 ShoreGear voice appliances out here. Handwriting's getting a little worse. And a set of phones. Let's have extension 2000 over here. Now between those 2 sites, you're going to have some way of connecting them over telco. We'll draw the PSTN cloud, the public switch telephone network cloud, up here. This is what's going to connect into the ShoreGear voice appliances, either analog or PRI. We can do SIP as well. And with 2 sites, you might have a VPN connection between between the 2 sites. You might have MPLS. Our preference is MPLS. It's going to give you the best quality. So let's just draw up an MPLS WAN between the 2 sites. That's connecting your 2 networks. Now, why is ShoreTel so unique? Well, in the old TDM legacy days, what you'd find is a siloed approach. You'd have a PBX at each location, so that in the event that your wide area network goes down, you still have full functionality as if your phone system was up and running. Some features might change. You might not be able to manage the system quite as well, do a lot of things of that nature, but you could still make a call from one site to the other. Now, why do I bring that up? A lot of my competitors today are centralizing call management. And yeah, you can push out some call controllers and whatnot out to the edge, or you can put it in a router with a backup functionality in the event that this WAN is out. But with ShoreTel, you're not having to teach your end users a everything's good functionality way of doing business and a uh-oh, something's gone wrong backup feature set. To an end user, if this wide area network is out of the equation, it's down, doesn't make a difference. 4-digit dialing, still across. Why is that? Because the system, each one of these switches, has a full copy of the entire ShoreTel database. And so when user 1000 picks up the phone and dials 2000 with a 4-digit dial, the call will go up, hit the switch, recognize that the WAN connection is down in this scenario, and route across the PSTN. The switch does the digit translation to a full 10-digit DID so that it can dial into Site 2 and complete the call. Now, what if the MPLS is up? Great, that works fine too. Extension 1000 to extension 2000. You're talking about least cost routing in this scenario. And WAN dialing, because that's going to offer you significant savings on your monthly telephone bill. Also, because of the way the ShoreTel system's architected, if 1000, say for instance the PSTN is cut, we don't have any trunking at headquarters, but we still have our wide area network, you can still dial out from Site 2, because Site 2 is connected to the public switch telephone network. Also, if Site 2 happens to be halfway around the world, you dial out across the wide area network, provided that you have the sufficient class of service. Dial across the wide area network and out your local trunking in any number of countries that ShoreTel's homologated in. Or this could be long distance across the country. We're talking about significant savings there. Now, what about redundancy? And I'm talking about redundancy, not resiliency, redundancy. There is a difference, and we can talk about that more face-to-face. But redundancy with ShoreTel is unlike other competitors out there. Other competitors are going to offer you a backup resilient system. You might hear it as SRST from some manufacturers. Other manufacturers will have other acronyms for it or other terms for it. With ShoreTel, what we're saying is, okay, say you have 2 sites, say you have 100 sites, however many sites doesn't matter. We can back up your entire phone system with the addition of a single ShoreGear voice appliance. Let's put it at Site 2, for instance. And what this is doing, it's a hot standby. It also has a full copy of the database. We'll call it N+1. It's the redundant switch. In the event that a Shore gear switch goes offline, loses connectivity, gets unplugged, fails for whatever reason, we're talking about an architecture that's 99.999% uptime, 5 nines of availability, but coffee spills on it, something happens. The phones will automatically rehome to that N+1 switch and be able to make call control, and calls happen. On the same local area network, you're also doing load balancing across the various switches that you have installed, so that we're able to make your phone system more redundant, more resilient, higher availability, lower downtime, and it works out to a smart solution. I use that as an acronym. For scalability, ShoreTel scales from 1 user to 10,000 users on a single database image. I should mention that. The whole system is centrally managed from a single user interface, a web-based browser interface. So as long as you can connect to your network through a VPN connection, perhaps, you have the ability to manage your whole phone system. M, in this acronym SMART, manageability. We've got a ton of manageability with this because it is managed from a single user interface. End users are going to love this as well. A, available. System I already mentioned is 99.999% available uptime. Reliability, well, because of this N+1 architecture, we've got a ton of reliability built into the system. And because of the fact that these boxes, these Shore Gear voice appliances, don't have any moving parts, they're not going to fail as often as you'll run into in a server-based environment. And then finally, T in this acronym SMART is for total cost of ownership. We do, like I did mention earlier, we have a total cost of ownership tool that we can help give you an analysis of what our system is going to compare over the lifespan of against other systems. Usually you're going to find significant savings. ShoreTel actually has a total cost of ownership guarantee as well that I could talk to you about. And that's the ShoreTel architecture. We've talked about how it can recover from PSTN failures, WAN outages, the failure of a switch, of a call processing switch, all kinds of redundancy built in. We can even make this server redundant across various locations. But this is to get you started. So please give us a call. We'll be happy to sit down with you and show how this architecture will fit into your environment.